Picture a world where we could live and travel beneath the oceans, where coral castles and kelp forests are our everyday scenery. What if humans could breathe underwater? Would our planet be a watery paradise, or would it turn into a fizzy, foamy disaster? Well, first off, let's talk gills. Fish have gills, but they're not like our lungs. Their gills are made of thin, delicate filaments that are way too small for us big lugs to breathe through. And imagine trying to suck water through those tiny gill slits. Not easy, especially when you're all choked up with seawater. But here's an idea. What if we had giant gills, like the size of a basketball court? Then we could take in huge gulps of water and filter out the oxygen we need. Our blood would carry the oxygen throughout our bodies, just like how it does now when we breathe air. It'd be like having your very own personal scuba tank that never runs out of air. And speaking of tanks, what would happen if we put a human body into one? You've probably seen those videos of people breathing underwater with special gear like scuba tanks, but they can only stay down there for a few minutes before running out of air. And if you tried to make a bigger tank so you could stay longer, it would be like carrying around your own private pool. Plus, tanks have air bubbles, which are fun for a bit, but also kind of dangerous since they can get all twisted and make it hard to see. Okay, so what about those inflatable lungs that some folks have been working on? They're more like balloons than lungs, expanding our lung capacity to take in more oxygen. But would they work under the sea? Well, these inflatable lungs are still in the prototype stage. But the idea is to use them alongside our regular lungs, kind of like a backup system. So maybe someday we could take a deep breath and explore the ocean depths without all the bulky gear. But here's the thing. Even if we had giant gills or inflatable lungs or some other fancy breathing gadget, there's still that whole water pressure thing. When you're underwater, you're like a squishy bag of water surrounded by even more water. And all that water is pushing in on you from all sides. At the ocean's surface, that's not too bad. It's like a gentle head massage. But dive deeper and the pressure starts to make your ears pop. That's because your middle ear has a little air pocket that wants to stay at surface pressure. But the water's pushing harder. So when you dive, the air pocket gets squished and the water pressure can actually mess with your hearing. And it's not just your ears. For every 10 meters or 33 feet you dive, the pressure increases by 1 atmosphere. That's equal to the weight of all the air above us on land. At 40 meters deep, the pressure is 4 times greater than at the surface. It's like having an elephant standing on your head. At 100 meters, it's like having 4 elephants. And that's just the pressure outside your body. Inside you, the water pressure squeezes your blood vessels and makes your heart work harder. It's like trying to pump water through a hose with 4 elephants standing on it. Plus, water is 1,000 times denser than air, so it's way harder to move around in. Just imagine trying to walk through water with the consistency of honey. Not easy, right? Even the tiniest movement would take tons of energy, and that's why most sea creatures have streamlined bodies to cut through the water. US humans, we're not exactly aerodynamic. We'd be like trying to swim with a brick. So maybe living underwater isn't all it's cracked up to be. But here's the ultimate bummer. If we lived underwater, we'd need to evolve webbed hands and feet, gills, a tail, maybe even grow a whole new set of marine-based senses to navigate underwater. Basically, we'd need to become mermaids or mermen. And who knows, maybe someday we will. Who knows? Thanks for watching Parallelish, where imagination bends reality. I'm Nova, your guide through the unknown. Want to explore more timelines? Tap the playlist above and keep diving into the what-ifs. Until next time, stay curious.